Hey guys, Cassandra here, aka the Prosperous Heart, owner of www.prosperousheart.com, which is my blog, and I'm so excited. I just got off of a live training with the Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a leading brain person who has been teaching people how to rewire their brain for success, talking about the quantum field and so many other great information to help you become a better version of yourself and just overcome these things that have been stopping you and keeping you from achieving that which you desire. So Dr. Joe Dispenza is going to be the keynote speaker at Live the Dream 8 in Austin, Texas from August 11th through the 13th. If you want to get your ticket, this address right here is where you can get access to it. You do not have to be a member of the company. You can simply purchase your ticket and go, and it's going to be awesome. I went last year and it was amazing. And this video is not about the event. This is actually about some things that I learned from the training. Now, if you are on my blog, it will be a blog post. So be sure to check ProsperousHeart.com for that. But going back now onto the topic at hand, rewiring your brain for success. So if I look down for a bit, that's because I've got some notes here that I want to make sure that I speak about, because sometimes my brain can kind of go off in waves and sometimes I forget things. So first of all, who is Dr. Joe Dispenza? He basically healed himself after a massive trauma to his back when he was much younger, I think in his 20s. And doctors told him that they needed to remove parts of his spine to make him whole again, which actually would have limited his movement and so much more. And he basically said, no, thank you, and focused on things like meditation and changing the habit of himself in order to heal himself. And he is miraculous. And he's actually been talking about science and how people have been able to physically alter DNA. It's crazy, guys. So first of all, like I said, he did this through meditation. And on the live training, he explained what meditation is. What does it mean to meditate? So most people go through their life doing the same things day in, day out. They wake up at the same time. They go to work. They brush their teeth. They go home. They do this, they do that. And it's the same thing all the time. Same emotions, same people, same events, same locations, same everything. And what happens is your outer environment, when you're stuck in these types of things, your outer environment controls how you think, act, and feel. And as long as you're acting and thinking and feeling in these known and familiar ways, you will keep creating the same life you are living right now. It's called your comfort zone, okay? So something else that he mentioned is that emotions are a record of the past. If you keep reliving these emotions like, oh, I'm so depressed, my ex from 2 years ago, and this, that, and the other, and he was so terrible to me, and this, that, whatever. When you keep rooted in these emotions, you are continuing to relive the past. You are not in the present. You are living in what used to be. You are continuing to reinforce this belief and this mentality and this state, this emotional hubbub in your life. And so your body is going to get used to it, and it's going to create connections to attract more of that into your life. Okay. So, again, when you run through those same routines, you anticipate your future to be like your past. And your body will not be living in the present moment. So meditation literally allows you to disconnect from your external environment, diminish your sensory environment. So, things that go in your ears, things that you're watching, you go to a quiet place, you close your eyes, you keep it dark. You are basically taking out your external environment so that you can focus on your internal environment. So you can change your inner person. So, let's see. Yeah, okay. So research has shown, science has shown that when you do meditation properly, your brain and your body do not know the difference between an outer experience, what you have currently or have in the past experienced, and what you experience inside of your mind. Okay. So you can literally rewire your brain to become greater than your environment. You can envision yourself as an amazing leader who has helped thousands of people become debt-free and financially free and, all this stuff. And if you live in that moment, that that future that has not yet occurred, and you put yourself into an elevated state, into grace and to thankfulness and all that. If you elevate your emotions and you focus on that vision, you will attract that to you. So you can emotionally teach your body what to expect before the future manifests, and you can condition your mind to have already experienced that future which you seek. So, as Dr. Joe Dispenza explained, meditation simply means to become familiar with. If you are aware of your feelings, and you're conscious of what you're unconscious of, you have the opportunity to change it, also known as know thyself. So the process of change is simply to stop being part of the old self. Stop thinking, stop acting, and feeling the same way, and start acting, thinking, feeling differently. You've got to meditate, okay? So people like, your favorite sports figures, ballerinas, executives, successful entrepreneurs, these people have not only invested in themselves, their time, their money into creating a better future, learning more about their craft and their passion, but they've also implemented it and they've meditated on it. They've thought about it, when they're going through rough patches, or when they're driving their car, or when they're in the shower. They're thinking about the future they want. They are elevating themselves. They are going through the motions, right? Some of the most, I can't remember the gentleman who talked about it. I think it might have been Tiger Woods. Anyway, a golfer, apparently, I don't remember who it was, but a golfer, told somebody one time that before he became like number one, he would have his caddy go through and tell him how many number of steps were on, T1 and T2, and I'm not a golfer, that might be the wrong terminology, but he told him how many steps and things like that. And so as he was on the plane ride and things like that, he literally walked through the golf course in his mind. And that's how he was able to do this kind of thing. And so one of those things that has shown this to be a fact is that there's been studies such as people who were studying piano. They had two different groups, one who physically did it, one who did it by mental. And they saw from the different patterns and waves and stuff from your brain that it changed. There were new pathways and, physical changes in your body. So guys, this is science. I have been there where I thought that meditation was woo woo and it's, whatever, but science doesn't lie. It just doesn't. You can begin to change your brain biologically. Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. And, when you do that, your body will change as well. If your muscles can change, and so many different improvements will happen when you meditate, when you put yourself in that higher state. So how does the law of attraction actually function in the quantum field, which is the science part of things? How do your thoughts and the law of attraction truly create your realities? This is where people get into trouble. People think law of attraction, you think it and it happens. Ha ha ha. Not quite, that's not quite how it works, right? So quantum field in science is an invisible field of information that exists beyond space and time. It's an infinite field of nothing material where all possibilities exist. Okay. So when you are meditating, when you are putting yourself outside of yourself and thinking, inside this elevated state, you are creating a new energy. You are creating a new magnetism, and you are attracting that future which you seek from the quantum field. So you can basically pick up what it is that you want from your future and create it. You can manifest it. So some quantum physics experiments have actually shown that when scientists look for an electron and they expect it to be there, it appears. Super weird, but it proves that the subjective mind has an effect on the objective world. Mind and matter are so inextricably combined that it's impossible to separate the two. Again, you've got to go beyond yourself. You have to, the way to make this work is you have to combine a clear intention. You can't just say, I want money, 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 money. Yes, money, 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 money. You have to be specific. How much money do you want to make on a monthly basis? What kind of house do you want? What does the picket fence look like? What are the colors? What does the bathroom look like? Who are you going to help with when you are making that much money? What are you going to do? And you've got to be specific specific. You have to have a clear intention, an act of the mind or mind and brain with an elevated emotion such as joy, happiness, thankfulness, gratuity. This is your body and your brain, right? You're creating the chemicals as you're also doing this, and you will begin to change your energy. You can't wait for your success to feel empowered like most people do. Oh, well, when I'm successful, I will feel this way, or when I'm successful, I will do this. You can't do that. You have to start with the why. You've got to start with your vision. You've got to start with this empowerment that you can do it, and that future is there waiting for you. Everyone's so backwards with that. You have to feel empowered in order for success to find you. So, our thoughts alone can rewire our brain neurologically and change our body biochemically. Something called neuroplasticity, if you've ever heard of that. Some people believe that we are doomed by our genes. Oh, well, my parents were fat and my grandparents were fat, and so I'm going to forever be fat. Or, my daddy was Po, I'm Po, my kids are going to be Po, that thing that, Danny Johnson has said sometimes in her trainings. These mentalities are what stop people from moving forward with their life. They assume that because of some past experience, whether it was their own or somebody in their genetic history, that they can't live the life that they want. So, in order to do that, you have to realize that you're not doomed by your genetics. You're not doomed by your history, and you have infinite amount of possibilities at your fingertips. So, like I said, people have been conditioned to believe incorrect information. So meditation, you have to do this on a regular basis. You can't just do it once every week or whatever. It has to be part of your daily routine in order to change that which you currently have if you want to have it be and do something more. The act of mental rehearsal over and over and over again shows that it already looks like a habit. Again, when you do something, I think it's called I can't remember. The more you do something, the more pathways are formed and the stronger they become. So for example, for programming, I have, aside from my part-time business as an online marketing and social media coach, I'm a full-time programmer. And, I got my degree in 2008, but I didn't start using it until last year. And it was a little bit like riding a bike, but here's the thing. When you don't use that which it goes away. But the more you use it, the faster you're going to be, the easier it's going to come to you, the more creative you're going to be, right? It's this act of doing it that becomes a habit. It creates new pathways. It creates stronger pathways. It's physical evidence that an event has already happened. So if you are envisioning yourself creating a program, or if you're envisioning yourself having success in your home business, you have to envision it as if it's already happened, as if you have already received that which you seek. Once you do that, your behaviors will match your intentions. So for example, in your business, you will be consistent. You will be consistent in your business. You will, for example, like myself, this is day 3 of my 30-day Facebook Live video challenge. You will find a way to make it happen. Your mind and your body will work together, and you will move forward into that new state of being. So again, physical evidence shows that it's already occurring, and that experience that you want will find you. It is part of that quantum field. That's just how it works. So, one thing I did want to say though is that as you do that, as you draw the event to you, you are going to attract that which you seek in ways that you never imagined, you never expected. So one of the things that he was questioned is, the majority of people majority of people know what to do, but don't do it. And why? And so, when Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about this, he explains that most people can't get beyond their emotional bodies. They've been conditioned to believe those negative lies. So they brace themselves for the worst. They assume they can't overcome what they have. They continue to live in their past, and they continue to attract what they don't want. And so they think, oh, well, I can't ever be debt free, or I can't ever have kids, or I can't ever, whatever the case may be. They just sit in that, and they don't believe that they can overcome that future that they want will actually be attracted to them. The moment that they make a choice, they make that decision, again, as I've said in another video, they decide to cut themselves away from that which they don't want and move towards that which they do. When someone makes a decision, they might feel uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. People would rather hold on to their fear and their guilt than the possibility of being hurt. But when you can overcome that fear, when you can overcome that, that thing that holds you back from being more than you are and more than you ever thought you could be, because you have the ability to be so much more if you let yourself, if you believe in yourself, but people would rather stay in their comfort zone. They don't want to risk it, and so they won't. And so they know what to do, but they don't do it. So when you take the time to invest in yourself and your future, you will do something that you already innately know how to do. It's just, again, science. So in order to overcome negative, paralyzing emotions, in order to get past your painful memories and paralyzing fear, you have to reprogram your brain and your body to take massive, daily, and consistent action. Whether it's, learning guitar or building your business or I don't know whatever it is that you want to do, you have to be consistent in it. Again, you've got to create that new thing. The word escapes me. You've got to overcome that, and you have to create a new routine. There we go, routine. So, you can talk about it all you want. You can say, oh, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I don't like this and I don't like that about my life and blah, 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 blah. But talk is cheap. Talk is nothing. It does nothing. Knowledge is simply the precursor to experience. The more knowledge you have about something, the more prepared you are for the event. However, if you do not implement that which you know, it won't be second nature to you. It might be in the back of your head, but you won't be able to call upon it easily or readily when the experience comes. So that's why it's so important, again, to meditate on that future. Who is it that you want to become to attract that future? What is it that you've got to do? What are you going to feel when that future happens, right? So most people have a problem with this because believing in a future that obviously hasn't happened yet, without having evidence that it's going to happen, they have to trust in this process. But it means you have to lay down what you've done your whole life, which is, believing that what has passed is what's always going to happen, whether you actively think that or not, right? So you have to lay down what you know in order to go for something greater and in order for that to occur, right? So last but not least, I got a couple more things here. So, how do you stop an addiction to unworthiness? This is something that a lot of people suffer from, myself included. How do you rewrite that unconscious, hardwired, unworthy programming to start accepting and receiving the money and abundance you deserve? And it's simply, again, it comes from your past experiences. The beliefs that you have come from your past, did you come from a family where money was hard to come by, and you were afraid to ever ask for anything? You've got to think about that, right? Does that affect who you are today? Does that mean that you save every little penny and never spend a dime on fun? Or did you go the other direction where you're always spending money and so you are focused, you're so focused on not having money when you were younger that you spend it all now and you still don't have any money, right? That was a past experience. What has happened in your past does not determine your future. If you have money problems, take a look at what you're doing. What are you spending it on? What are you saving? It's not about what you spend it on. It's how much you save, right? So you have to make a decision to make a change. Okay. So, let's see what else. All right. So yeah, in order to overcome that belief, whatever belief it is, whether it's a belief of money or a belief about unworthiness or anything negative that you don't want in your life, you have to make a decision with such a level of intensity and energy greater than the hardwired program in your brain and your emotional addictions in your body that you've accumulated. This choice must become an experience that you'll never forget. And you have to be consistent with your meditation so that you can move forward with that. Okay. So how do you create a vision? Even if you say you're uninspired, how do you sustain that new vision of yourself and become that new person? So the people with the highest motivation are the ones that have a bigger vision than themselves. They have a bigger vision than just getting money. You know, we as human beings are naturally wired to want to give or help somebody else in some way. I can't remember what doctor did this, but Zig Ziglar had mentioned it in his Born to Win series, where, oh, of course I would lose my train of thought. If I remember it, I'll put it on my blog, because I know I run more over than I intended to. Sorry, guys. So, so the ones with the highest motivation are the ones that have a bigger vision than themselves. Again, we're wired to give or help in some way. Oh, I remember. So Zig Ziglar said that there was a doctor who said that if he was asked, you know, what would you do if you were about to have a nervous breakdown? And he had said, if you feel yourself feeling a nervous breakdown, find someone else who has a problem and help them overcome it, because not only will you help somebody else, but you'll also help yourself, because you will see that, you know, times aren't that bad. Life is not that bad, and you can overcome it, right? So where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And in order to be successful and, you know, if you want to be worthy of being a leader or worthy of being a speaker or whatever it is that's a passion for you, that really gets you out of bed in the morning, you know, what are you doing now to become worthy of that future, right? You know, doing meditation and things like that, as if you're not implementing, you know, what creativity comes to you when you're meditating, or if you're not implementing the trainings that you take, to achieve that which you seek, you're just kind of wanting it. You haven't actually made the decision yet that this is what you want. This is going to happen. This is it, right? You have not made that decision. So what are you doing to become worthy of the future you seek? You know, life is your school. What will you decide to learn, and what will you decide to implement? So thank you so much for watching. I was so stoked to hear Dr. Joe Dispenza tonight. And I'm even more stoked to see him at Live the Dream in Austin in August. So check out this link if you want more information, so you can hear from Dr. Joe live. And seriously, guys, check out his book. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It also includes a meditation addition to it. Check it out. It shows you the science. It's a real thing, guys. It's not a woo-woo thing. Please, if you want to really have that, which are in your dreams and in your heart, you have to rewire yourself. It's just, that's all there is to it. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you got value from this, please like this post, share it if someone should hear it today. And I would love to hear, you know, if you've been doing meditations, what's your favorite meditation to listen to? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.